it's o'clock. Now we want to turn our attention to the JHTA rejecting the government's proposed increase in the general consumption tax on tourism activities. Now, the association's president issued a strongly worded statement on Friday. The statement says the position to reject the proposal reflects the full consensus among its membership chapters and tourism stakeholders. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, as you may very well know already, Favor Williams, announced the tax measure during the tabling of the estimates of expenditure on February 12. Here's Favor Williams.
The next revenue measure will increase the general consumption tax GCT rate on tourism activities to the standard rate of 15%, up from 10%. The Honourable House is asked to note that over the years, the government of Jamaica has provided special tax treatment to the tourism industry to alleviate the tax burden and propel the industry to a level of maturity. This support was delivered through targeted tax credits, including the special tax credit, STC, and the special alcoholic beverages credit, SABC.
The voice of the country's finance minister, Favor Williams. The proposed increase is set to take effect on April 1, 2027, right? So not immediately. JHTA President Christopher Jarrett says providers of tourism activities would move from the current 10% GCT rate to 15%, a 50% increase, significantly raising costs within the tourism sector. He says, Jarrett says, although implementation has been deferred to the next fiscal year in recognition of ongoing recovery challenges, the JHTA maintains that any increase in GCT affecting tourism is untenable. He says increasing GCT on tourism activities by 5% would directly impact pricing, competitiveness, and ultimately demand. Now, we are being joined by the immediate past president of the MSME Alliance for a reaction to this position being taken by the JHTA. That's Donovan Wignall. We hope to be joined by trade unionist and public commentator Helen Davis-White. Donovan Wignall, top of the afternoon to you. Welcome to Nationwide at 5.
Top of the afternoon to you and your listeners, everyone.
Donovan, what should we make of the JHTA's response? Are the tourism players being petulant and entitled, as some may see it, or are they being wise? Do we want to trouble the cash cow?
Well, I would have expected that they would have reacted just the same. Most of the people who are affected by increased taxes are going to respond the same way. But I think the tourism sector, more than most, have benefited from government concession from time immemorial. So as far as import duties and some of the inputs in their businesses, you know, they just have benefited from a lot of concession over the years. So at this point in time, when we have the Minister of Finance challenged to find, you know, to put together a budget, then she's going to look at the areas that have the least impact on the general population. And I think the tourism sector that has not come under any kind of tax burden, you know, major tax burden over the years from budget, would have been one of the areas that should have looked at. I think GCT is generally an input tax, so therefore you claim back the GCT at the end of the month. So if you pay over the GCT, at the end of the month when you file your taxes, they get it back. So the impact, I think, while, you know, as far as cash flow is concerned, it's going to impact somewhat. But if the minister were to choose from several different evils, I think the tourism sector would have been one of the lesser ones. That being said, I think, you know, any increase in tax or any increase in the cost of operating any business at this particular point in time is not so good for any business. But the tax on the tourism sector being deferred until the next financial period, I think that is very considered as far as the ministry is concerned.
Which is one of the things I've been looking at, and it should detain anywhere thinking person who is trying to make an assessment of whether or not the JHTA is being reasonable. That the tax is not going to be, well, the increase, or the proposed increase is not going to take effect until April 1, 2027, and they are complaining about it already. It's not even immediate, Donovan Wigner. We've lost Donovan. Donovan. It appears we've lost Donovan Wigner. But we're talking about the JHTA and its resistance to the increase in the general consumption tax, GCT, on tourism activities. And of course, the JHTA came out swinging against the proposed tax measure because it says, look, leave the tourism sector alone, basically. The tourism sector can't afford this. He's back with us. Donovan Wignell, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Carol.
Yeah, Donovan Wignell, I'm saying not just, you are saying one, they paid up front and then they can claim back for it, yes? But also the proposed increase is to take effect on April 1, 2027. It's not even immediate. Shouldn't that be seen as a peace offering of sorts from the government to the tourism sector?
Absolutely, I agree. Yeah, so before 4-1, this is before us. And I mean, 1 year hence, you'll be paying the taxes. So starting to stream from now, I don't understand why you would. But, the sector has been booming for a while. And considering that, we just administer, they're going to need some time to recover. I think the 12 months is enough for them to recover and prepare for the additional taxes. I'm absolutely sure that over the period from November 3rd to now, they would have gotten significant amount of concessions as far as the imports to rebuild their infrastructure. And generally, hotels benefit from significant concession towards the building and maintenance of their infrastructure. So,
it's time for them to pay their fair share then, Donovan Wigner.
Yes,
and this can't even be described as that, because this can be passed on to the consumer, right?
It is going to be passed on to the consumer, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So, I mean, it is not. I mean, I'm not being in the sector. I can probably say anything I want to say, but basically, I don't think it's that big of a deal to impact them so much to the point that it's going to impact their business significant enough to create a dent.
We're fast running out of time, but you did say that the tourism sector has perhaps disproportionately benefited from government benevolence. Let me put it like that. Is it a case that we've spoiled the tourism sector, or in the Jamaican parlance, we brought them bad? That is why they're responding like this?
Yeah, I'm going to say they're a little spoiled. I think they have gotten a lot. They have got the lion's share of concession. If you look at manufacturing companies, if you look at other regular companies, for manufacturing, yes, they get the productivity incentive relief. But the hotel sector, and I stand corrected on this, have benefited far more than every other sector in the country as far as government concessions are concerned. So, chipping and paying a fair share is not that big a deal.
Finally, before we're out of time, let me ask you, should the finance minister heed the call of the JHTA and roll back this proposed tax measure?
And probably the JHTA can tell the finance minister where she's going to get, the 10 billion from. If not from this sector, where else? If I can suggest to the minister where she can get the rest of the money from, then fine. But at this point in time, I think the choice in taxes, even though with the digital tax, we're still not clear on how it's going to be handled yet. But I think the minister chose well as far as the areas where he should be calling on to make up the budget. You know, as far as that, I think 30 billion is concerned.
Well, all right, Donovan Wignall, thank you so very much, former president of the MSME Alliance. We appreciate you jumping on and being with us, Donovan Wignall. Have a good one.
Yeah, man, you're most welcome. You too.
This has been the cover story, the headlines.